Yankees isn't easy. Getting a long-distance call through on AT&T is, even from non-AT&T public phones. Just dial 10-ATT-0 and the phone number.
AT&T.
10-ATT-0. Just to make getting through your day a little easier. AT&T. How can we help you?
Hey, Yankee fans, here are two great ways to enjoy all the summertime fun at the stadium. On Saturday, July 7th, Coca-Cola presents Yankee Glove Day as the Yanks battle the Twins at 3 o'clock. All fans 14 and under will receive a free Yankee baseball glove. Then on Sunday, July 8th, Gatorade presents Yankee Sports Bag Day at 1:30, and all fans will receive a free Yankee Sports Bag. So make a double play with the Yanks for this giveaway weekend. Get your tickets now.
Let's pause 10 seconds along the Yankee Baseball Network for station identification.
We move to the top of the 11th inning here at the Sky Dome in Toronto. And the numbers are identical on the scoreboard. After 10 innings of play, each ball club 6 runs, each ball club 11 hits, and both the Blue Jays and the Yanks have made an error. And a new pitcher will come in and replace Frank Wills. Willie Blair will come in and pick up hopefully where Wills led off. Wills did a superb job. He came in the 7th inning. And he struck out 5 Yankees in his 4 innings of work. The only trouble that he had was the home run by Steve Balboni in the 8th. That was Balboni's 2nd home run. And he will face Deion Sanders. Hit hard to center field. Skied too much, and Kenny Williams is under it for out number 1. So Deion Sanders, who came in the game defensively for Jim Leyritz, and flies out in his first at bat. That'll bring up Mike Blowers. Blowers 0 for 3. Was intentionally walked in the 6th inning. And his average at the start of the day, 202. And the 0 for 3 has dropped him back under that 200 mark. Right at the shortstop, Manny Lee. A broken bat and quickly 2 outs. We're talking about this Toronto Blue Jays franchise. They are averaging 45.5 thousand fans in here. They are virtually sold out for the rest of the year. They have the highest average attendance in the major leagues. You see a lot of empty seats there. A lot of people have left, and they left before the big 5-run inning that the Blue Jays had in the 8th. But they're averaging 45.5 thousand per night. And the number 2 team in the big leagues is the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it's almost 10,000 left. Great play by Nelson Liriano. And he robs Matt Noakes of a base hit. A couple of line drives by the New York Yanks, but they come up empty in the top of the 11th. We go to the bottom of the 11th. And the Blue Jays will be sending up the bottom of the lineup. We're still in a 6-6 tie.
Kip and Henry are bosom buddies. When they get rolling, it's pure comedy magic.
You're taking out a girl who still believes Bambi can talk.
They're the funniest guys around.
Gloria's had her hand in the hormone jar.
And the ladies they live with are the sexiest on television.
On to the hot tub. Bye.
Every day, the laughs are right here on Bosom Buddies.
Starts Monday at 7:30 on Channel 11.
Loaded with features, built for speed. And with full-range autofocus, it can stop on a dime. The newest VHS camcorder from JVC. We just made recorded history again. Once you consider the complications of other camcorders, the best plug for JVC is no plug at all. It fits right in your VHS VCR. JVC. We just made recorded history again.
Okay, bring it forward a little bit. Keep it coming.
It ain't gonna fit, Charlie.
Just trust me. Hold it there. Just lower it a little bit.
Charlie, it ain't gonna fit.
Take it easy. Just be gentle with it. It'll be fine. Just lower it a little bit more.
Okay.
Just lower it.
Sorry, Charlie.
Take it easy. Come on.
I knew it wouldn't
Wait,
fit,
get
Charlie.
it up.
Come on, I knew it wouldn't fit. No way.
If it's out there, it's in here.
I knew it wouldn't fit.
The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
The Yankees against the Blue Jays, Sunday at 1:30 on Channel 11.
Lee Gooderman will stay in for the Yankees, and we will go to the bottom of the 11th. Lee, Williams, and Felix due up. The Yankees 6-11-1. The Blue Jays 6-11-1.
T. Balboni, who says, I've got this home run hitting mastered. I think I'll become a trainer.
Still had the bat there. It was hidden behind the box. It was still leaning up against it.
That bat is not very far away. You know another thing I found out about DHs? How testy they can be. They sit there, of course. They don't have to worry about defense. They don't have to go out on the field. And it's like their security blanket. They've got that bat next to them all the time, right? Manny Lee off the end of the bat. It'll be a tough play for Sachs. Can't get him. Well, Manny Lee with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 11th. His third base hit. Lee has been on 4 out of 5 times that he's been up. 3 singles and a walk. And it'll bring up Kenny Williams, and you got to look for the bunt in this situation.
Remember the killer B's? Well, these are the killer L's. Liriano and Lee. 2 great plays defensively by Liriano, and Lee comes up with another base hit here. Sachs ranged far, far to his left. Did a great job just catching up with it, but Lee's speed just gave him the edge there.
Gooderman steps off to check the runners, see if they will give away whether they are going to bunt in this situation. And you got to think yes, obviously. Blowers coming in from third, Mattingly from first. The infield rotation on. Espinoza goes over towards second, and Sachs over toward first. Mattingly will call a little bit of time. I'll finish that story about Balboni and the DHs. And it's like their security blanket. And you can do whatever you want to the DHs. And you can tickle them and kid them, but you have to go over there by them and pick up their bat. Uh-oh, that is real. That's a no-no. That is the no-no. You don't touch their equipment. The Yankees have a conference. Now wake up, Steve-O. That might be up next inning. And get their defensive plans organized, and they'll check Lee at first.
The Blue Jays are really still looking at Kenny Williams to find out exactly where he fits in. They figure he could play all 3 outfield positions. Was not a good bunter with Detroit, and we'll see what happens here.
You got to throw strikes. Gooderman trying to keep the ball up in the hitting zone and trying to get Williams to hit it up in the air. And now a 2-ball, no strike situation. If they knew more about Kenny Williams, they might try to put on a hit and run. But like you say, George, it's still a learning process for Cito Gaston and the Blue Jays about what this young man can do, and it's ball 3. I'll tell you one thing, he'll be taking 2 pitches. Junior Felix, the on-deck hitter. Williams hitting 9th in the order. And if Guterman loses him, you turn the lineup over and we go back to the top. Felix, Liriano, and Gruber. Ball 4, he walked him. First base on ball is given up by Lee Guterman. As we told you before, the bullpen is scouted by cameras. They're off ensconced someplace, and we have no idea where they are.
There is no one right now warming.
Nobody warming up. There's the Phantom of the Opera warming up in the bullpen. Lee Guterman is in there for the duration, at least for this inning, in all likelihood. He's got Felix, Liriano, and Gruber to face. And it's a funny situation. The coaches and the pitching coaches, manager and the pitching coaches on the bench, keep tabs of their bullpen by a little camera, television camera, that is shooting the bullpen for them so they see who is up. So Junior Felix with runners at first and second. Manny Lee at second, Williams at first, and nobody out. And Lee Guterman in the hole. Tried to pick off at second base, but Manny Lee back under the throw.
Felix 0 for 3 in sacrifice attempts last year. He'll drag for a hit, but he has not been asked often to sacrifice. Here you have an out to play with.
He has no sacrifice hits this year. He's got some sacrifice flies, but a bunt situation, if you're defending this as a pitcher, you got to look for the bunt down the third baseline. You try to pull the third baseman off the bag and get the lead runner over there. Oh, pops it in the air. Oh my, would that be a break for the Yankees? Hit a pop up in the infield. Oh, and you've got almost an automatic double play. Third base coach John McLaren going through the signs. One thing as a manager you can't do, don't ask your players to do something that they're not capable of doing. And Felix is not a good bunter. And you got to work some other way to try to get him to second base.
Good speed
to third. Good speed, hit and run, good contact.
This is a time with the out to play with where they may turn it off, and with everybody charging for the Yankees, that infield gets awful big for the hitter.
Rotation play is on, and it's going to be a successful bunt. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better bunt. Time is called. And the Blue Jays will have runners at second and third. One out, and Nelson Liriano, the hitter. Now a decision's got to be made. You're going to walk him, load the bases, get a force play at each base, and pitch to Kelly Gruber. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, here's another look at the bunt, and he just does a perfect job of deadening it on very difficult turf. Mattingly has the first thought of trying to go to third, but by the time he gets there, Lee is right to the skin part of the third base cutout, so that he has no chance of getting Lee at third. Pivots and goes to first. But when you talk about difficult decisions, you won't find a tougher one for Stump Merrill than this one, because you put up a guy, if you walk Liriano intentionally, who has beaten the Yankees before in a clutch situation this year.
Well, the Yanks are going to play the infield in, and it looks like they're going to pitch to Liriano. The outfield is playing in as well. The Yanks have Plunk, Cataray, Rags, and Alan Mills in the bullpen. Alan Mills came in the 6th yesterday and pitched the 7th as well. That's foul back, and it's a ball and a strike. Mills pitched an inning and 2/3 yesterday. Gave up a home run to Olerud to lead off the 8th inning. And then Stump Merrill went to Dave Righetti. So it's up to Lee Guterman. Second, third, one out, 1-1 to Liriano. Right to Flowers. There's a break for the Yankees. He hit it right on the nose, but right to Mike Flowers. And that'll bring up Kelly Gruber. So it's decision time. Who do you want to pitch to, Gruber or George Bell? George Bell, 2 hits in the ball game, and was robbed of a double by Jesse Barfield. Now Espinosa's going to come in and just ask exactly what we're doing. And Kelly Gruber, 1 for 4 on the night. He had a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the third.
Guterman, he got Gruber on almost a perfect pitch his last time up, sawed him off right on the hands, and he dribbled it weakly back to the mound.
Sawed him off big time, too. I mean, he got in there as good as you can get in there. Hard to center field, but right at Roberto Kelly. And Lee Guterman works out of it. Toronto gets their first 2 base runners on, get them around to second and third with 1 out, but cannot score. And after 11 innings here in Toronto, it's the Yankees 6, the Blue Jays 6.
In today's competitive car market, there's one place that gives you the advantage of Dodge Spirit. More interior room, a standard driver's airbag, and a lower price than Honda Accord. Now there's a great selection of Spirits, some as low as $213 a month. The advantage of Dodge Shadow, more horsepower, and a longer powertrain warranty than Honda Civic DX hatchback. There's hundreds in stock, some as low as $180 a month. For the cars that beat the Hondas, it's advantage Dodge.
Nothing beats number 1. Nothing beats the king of beers. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. This is the best, and we got it right here. Yeah. Nothing beats a Bud, yeah, nothing beats a Bud, yeah, nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
It's summer in the city, and everything's cooking. Everything's looking good.
No one must know about her or what she's done.
This is the time.
Surely you can't be serious. Don't call me Shirley.
This is the place. This is the summer on Channel 11, New York's movie station.
Well, a great job by Lee Guterman to get out of that. And we go to the 12th inning, and here's a reaction to Stump Merrill. All right, let's go. What a break. Nelson Liriano hit the ball right on the nose down to Flowers at third with runners at second and third and 1 out. And then Gruber, a line drive to center. So Mel Hall will pinch hit here for Alvaro Espinosa. And lead off the 12th inning. Hall, who did not show up until after the start of the game, said he was in New York on personal family business and could not get back in time for batting practice. And skies it high to right field, and he just missed that. Just got underneath it and just a little bit in on the hands. Or Mel Hall would have had his 10th home run of the season. Junior Felix puts it away. And Roberto Kelly will be the hitter. Kelly started off the night in slam bang fashion, 3 singles in a row in the first, third, and fifth. all off of Jimmy Key, and then has not gotten a hit in the last 2 times up. A strikeout victim in the seventh, excuse me, against Frank Wills, and a ground out in the 9th, so he's 3 for 5.
Yankees have 2 choices defensively now. Either put Collison out at short, save Velarde for a pinch hitting role.
Way inside.
Or put Velarde at short, probably with Collison out there, and save Velarde, who's got more punch with the bat.
You save your best bet on the guy with a pop on the bench. Exactly.
By the way, in case you missed it today, Atlanta Braves relieved Russ Nixon of his managerial duties, and General Manager Bobby Cox took over that position. Cox, of course, was the manager here 5 years ago and left to become the general manager in Atlanta. While it was not publicized at that time, there was an agreement that he would not manage for at least 5 years once he left here. That is up.
The clock has run out. 3-2 to Kelly, and he draws a base on balls. Willie Blair allows his first base runner. Blair came on in the 11th inning. And now we'll have Kelly at first with 1 out. Kelly 14 out of 20 in stolen bases. And Steve Sachs will be the hitter. Saxey, his first 2 times up, he had singles. And then he grounded into a fielder's choice, struck out, and another roller to second. So he's 3 for 5. Now keep your eye on Roberto Kelly.
Sachs with a long look at Buck Showalter, the third base coach. Kelly also.
Up high, and it's a ball, no strikes.
It's been interesting to watch Mike Ferraro, the first base coach, too, as you look at Buck Showalter flash the signs from Stump Merrill. But Ferraro will move in right behind Kelly, and very often a first base coach will have a verbal sign to let him know. So in case you missed the sign, he'll give you a verbal cue that yes, it is on, the steal or the hit and run.
Kelly does not go. A good fake, but doesn't go on the pitch. Strike 1.
Here's a look at Kelly on first. The 2-step fake, and then he's right back heading towards the bag.
One of the keys, picking the right pitch, when to go. Sachs basically a fastball hitter, and this is how you get a lot of fastballs, having a guy at first base that can run well.
You're playing with fire with the Blue Jays here and their firepower, so you figure you got to get them to second, whether it's the hit and run or the steal. You figure something's got to be cooking.
You got it. You have to do it sooner or later. And the question's when. There goes Kelly. They pitch out. They got him. Cito Gaston guessing right, or somebody has the signs, because it was no contest at second base. Now remember, these clubs have played each other a lot in the last week. A big series back at Yankee Stadium. This is second of a 4-game series here. Boy, that smells of somebody having the signs. But it's up to a ball club to change their signs, change indicators. I'll tell you one thing, we'll never know, because Cito Gaston will never tell us. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sachs. Outside, and it's 3-2. These 2 ball clubs right back here tomorrow will be Tim Leary against Todd Stottlemyre. And then on Sunday, Chuck Carey and John Cerruti. WPIX will be carrying that Sunday ball game. That'll be a 1:30 start. 3-2 to Sachs. Check swing, and it stays full at 3-2. Don Mattingly, the on-deck hitter. And we got one of the leather lungs here at the ballpark.
We were talking last night about some of the hecklers that used to be at Exhibition Stadium. I guess he didn't have a ticket for last night.
Base hit, right field. That's going to be in there, and Sachs has got to go for second. Oh, and he'll make it easily. Stevie Sachs, his 3rd base hit of the evening. And with 2 outs, the Yankees, a runner in scoring position. On the 3-2 pitch, a double to right center. And with 2 outs, Sachs going all the way. 2-base hit number 10 for Steve on the year. And Cito Gaston will come out and talk to Willie Blair. You've got Mattingly and first base open. And then Steve Balboni on the on-deck circle. So an interesting situation for Cito Gaston. You go after Don Mattingly, who has been struggling. You pitch around him and get the right-hander to go against Balboni, who, along with Roberto Kelly, swinging the best and hottest bat on the ball club.
And remember, there is no left-hander in the bullpen.
Exactly right. Somebody got to that leather lung, George. Was that you?
We get the FCC after us before much longer. You know he's going to say something.
Well, they're going to put Don Mattingly on and pitch to Steve Balboni. So Bones, who has 2 home runs on the night and was called out looking in the 10th, is 2 for 5. 1 for 5 last night, but he should have been 3 for 5 with 2 doubles last night. Was robbed of 2 base hits, one by George Bell on left and one by Kelly Gruber. So Mattingly will go to first, and Balboni will be up. An intentional base on balls for Don. Balboni with 3 RBIs on the evening. No balls and a strike. I said Balboni with 3 RBIs. He has 2 RBIs. The 2 home runs, solo shots. A solo shot in the first. And then again in the 8th. Out in front of the off speed. And quickly 0-2.
Bell has moved in a couple of steps in left field. He knows he's got to play at the plate with Sachs on if the ball's hit out to him.
Hit hard right on the line to Manny Lee. And the Toronto Blue Jays keep coming up with some outstanding fielding gems. One of the top fielding percentage in the American League, and Willie Blair gets out of it. After a half an inning here in the 12th. We're still tied at 6 in Toronto.
out a 3-run home run to Olerud. As you look at the Yankee bullpen, there's Cataray on your right and Plunk on your left, with Mark Connor directly behind them, and Stump Merrill going with Gooderman as George Bell, Olerud, and Borders are due up here in the bottom of the 12th.
Well, these Blue Jay fans have gotten their money's worth in the last 2 nights. Over 90,000 people have paraded through this ballpark in the last 2 nights. And a 7-6 game last night with a bunch of home runs and extra innings tonight. First pitch, he popped it up. A long run for Kelly, but he'll get there, and there's 1 out. So George Bell, who singled in the 3rd and double in the 8th, was robbed of a base hit in the 9th by Jesse Barfield. It is now 2 for 6. It'll be John Olerud, who has done a lot of damage to the Yankees in the last 2 nights. You face Gooderman in the 10th and grounded out to shortstop. A good play by Espinosa. Olerud 2 for 5, and the big blow, a 3-run homer in the 8th. Well, Dave LaPointe just pitched a masterpiece through 7 innings, and then the roof fell in for the Yankees. A nightmarish 8th inning when Toronto sent 9 men to the plate and scored 5 runs. Got him looking.
Yes.
Good bit of pitching right there by Lee Gooderman. And Olerud strikes out, looking at the breaking ball.
Another look as Gooderman gets ahead and gives him the breaking ball low and inside. And Olerud's home run was on a pitch that was on the outside corner, and Gooderman fed him one out there and then had him frozen with the breaking ball on the inside corner.
So Pat Borders the batter with 2 outs here on the bottom of the 12th. Borders 1 for 5. And it counts 2 balls and a strike. Borders came in hitting .289. 9 home runs and 25 RBIs.
Gooderman throwing well, but you would not expect him to go past this inning, simply because you lose him for a couple of days.
That's it hard to left field. That's way back there. Does Sanders have room? Somebody caught it.
Sanders.
Boy, they crossed and somebody caught it out there. A long run for Deion Sanders. Pat Borders came within a few feet of winning it in extra innings for Toronto, but a good play defensively in the outfield. We go to the top of the 13th here at the Sky Dome in Toronto. It's the Yankees 6 and the Blue Jays 6.
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. I'd put it out and it'd just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tinactin. It cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly and it'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tinactin puts the fire out for good.
Deion Sanders saved the day for the Yankees. Another look at this play as it is hit hard by Borders. Sanders gives a glance over to Roberto Kelly and evidently doesn't hear him call it off, so he stays right on it, cuts in front of Kelly and pulls it down. The Yankees with Barfield, Sanders, and Blowers due up. We're in the top of the 13th inning at the Sky Dome. The Yankees 6 runs, 12 hits. The Blue Jays 6 runs, 12 hits. Willie Blair, the third pitcher for the Blue Jays. Jimmy Key started, went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. Wills went 4 innings, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. Barfield tosses his bat in the Blue Jay dugout. Dave Stieb retrieves. The Yankees will not face Stieb in this series. Tomorrow it'll be Leary against Stottlemyre, and then Sunday Carey against Cerruti. Barfield himself came up with a tremendous defensive play on a shot by George Bell, a diving catch. To end the 9th inning.
The Yanks didn't have to face Steve in New York either, did they?
No, I don't think too sad about that.
No. So they missed him in 2 starts.
The 1-2.
There's a little different swing by Jesse Barfield. 2 strike, going to right field. Totally different. Watch him. Trying to hit the ball down that right field line, it looks like. He lost the bat. He was so far out in front of that other pitch. It was on the outside part of the plate, and maybe reminded him to try to drive the ball to right field.
Off the plate, and it'll go foul down the third base line.
That stays fair. It's a base hit.
No way Gruber can throw him out. Barfield tuckered out tonight. There's no doubt about it. You can tell by the look on his face when he came out of the dugout, and even after he made the great play on Bell. It has been a very humid night here inside. The dome is closed at Toronto. A capacity crowd that adds to the heat, and as we've been remarking all evening long, it's like a ball game in the Midwest in the heat of the summer or down in Atlanta. It's that kind of a feeling here tonight. The 1-2 again. Barfield 0 for 6 and 4 strikeouts on the night. We go to Deion Sanders, who hit it hard his last time up.
A tough night for Jesse Barfield. Pitch the breaking ball out of the strike zone. And Jesse just goes through periods where he just can rack up the strikeouts. We get that with a streak hitter. On the other side of the coin, you get the long ball too.
Sanders entered the game for Liritz, and his only time up fly to center field in the 11th inning. Hit it well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the toughest part about this is, especially for the team that loses tonight, you got to come back and play a day game tomorrow. We're already looking at midnight, with the probability that neither team would take batting practice on Saturday morning after a night like this. To the right side, Liriano. And there are 2 away.
You just got to go home and sleep fast, that's all.
That's it.
Right? Sleep fast. One of the finals in off the wire, George. Final in from Honolulu.
The Islanders?
The Texas Rangers defeated the Seattle Mariners 5-2. Losing pitcher Matt Young. And the winning pitcher,
Nolan Ryan.
You got it, baby. His record gone to 5-4. And another final, the Giants defeated the Astros 4-3.
Rafael Palmeiro left that game early after being hit by a pitch. He was taken to the hospital for x-rays. Hit in the arm, I believe.
How many is that for Nolan? 5. That's 297. Was he at 92 at the start?
I remember he was down to.
I'll tell you what, I'll know by Sunday. It's not 300 yet, but it's coming. It's just around the corner.
Mike Blowers gave one a ride back in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 4, but has hit 2 balls hard. He put on an exhibition in batting practice today, hit 35 balls out of here and hit him a ton.
Just missed another one too.
Well, that'll do it in the top of the 13th. The The Yankees and the Blue Jays remain tied 6-6. We'll go to the bottom of the 13th at the Sky Dome with Toronto due up with Hill, Lee, and Williams. Longest outing since August 11th of '88. 5 2/3 innings pitched against Toronto in New York. And this is the longest game for the Yankees since September 11th of '88. 18 innings against Detroit in New York when Claudell Washington's 2-run home run off Hernandez won it 5-4. Cadaret will go to work on Glenn Allen Hill, Manny Lee, and Williams. You know, maybe Tony Fernandez knew something we didn't know. Maybe he was the one smart guy here tonight. Fernandez was ejected from the ball game after arguing a ball that skidded along the foul line and went the third base line and went foul. He thought it was fair, and when he came back out the next inning, started jawing with second base umpire Larry Barnett, he was ejected. Hill 2 for 5 on the night. Three balls and one strike, and if Cadaret has had difficulty this year, it is on the numbers that are up there now, behind on the hitters, 3-1.
Both the pitchers that came over from the Oakland A's in the Henderson deal.
Has Flowers a base hit to left, and Hill leads off the bottom of the 13th.
Both pitchers that came over in the Oakland deal, Plunk and Cadaret, trouble, like you say, George, behind in the count. And you take Glenn Allen Hill, who is a 200 hitter coming into the night, hitting 217, and he has 3 hits tonight, and 6 times to the plate.
We're tied at 6. That hit the 13th for the Blue Jays. The Yankees have 12, and Manny Lee steps in. Lee reached on an infield hit back in the 11th. He's 3 for 4 on the night. 2 infield hits and a single to left. Hill leads off. Lee squares around. Blowers charges. Mattingly charges, and Sachs rolls to first. John McLaren, the third base coach for the Blue Jays, flashes the signs. Lee steps out, takes a long look, and Cadaret takes a long look at Noakes behind the plate.
The Yanks got out of a tough situation in the 11th when Lee Guterman, the first 2 hitters got off against him. Boy, hit and run on. Doing something a little bit different. Put the runner in motion. In the 11th against Guterman, Manny Lee singled, and then Kenny Williams walked. Junior Felix bending him over to second and third with 1 out, but they couldn't score. A good job by Lederman. Guterman, as Liriano grounded out to third, hit the ball hard, but right at Flowers, and then Gruber lined out to center.
The Blue Jays either guessed right or picked a sign on the Yankees to throw out Kelly when he was trying to steal. And the chess game continues with 1 ball and 2 strike count to Lee. Hill going nowhere on that pitch. Hill is 4 for 5 in stolen bases this year, and is a good all-around offensive player. Was exceptional in the International League last year, leading the league in home runs, hits. Fouled off and out of play down the right field line. This game was a sellout. In fact, the whole series was a sellout. 49,808 showed up for it tonight, and many left in the top of the 8th, with the Yankees leading 6-1. After maybe 20,000 left then, they've dwindled since then. As the clock reads 11:52 Eastern time, and we're now in the bottom of the 13th. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lee. Hill off first. Cadaret gets it. That's the first strikeout for Cadaret, and the first time Lee has gone down swinging tonight.
Looks like the off-speed pitcher split finger, George. Something on split. Off-speed because Manny Lee was way out in front.
That'll bring up Williams. Frank is 0 for 2, hit into a double play. And then in the 8th inning reached on a fielder's choice that scored a run. In the 11th inning he walked. That's when Lee got an infield hit. Williams walked, and then Felix laid down a perfect bunt to leave runners at 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out. But Guterman got out of it. They got him picked. Mattingly to Tallison, and he is out. Glenn Allen Hill has some offensive abilities on the base pass, but still a young runner, and Cadaret with a good move. And not pretty, but Tallison puts the tag on.
Hill doing a lot of things trying to get out of the way of the tag. He is a dead duck. You mess around with Tolley. He played a little football in his day. He knows where to go. Don't tackle upstairs. You go down by those feet. You can get him down there.
All-American wide receiver.
Some short players in that league.
You could go get him. He's still a very valuable ball player on this particular team. He hasn't had a chance to play a lot, but when Hall pinch hit for Espinosa, he does a major league job at 2nd, short, or 3rd. He can be very valuable to a contending team down the stretch, and that may be one of the moves that the Yankees certainly would consider if someone was interested. The short, Tallison. He got him. Let's see if Mattingly's okay. Yes, he is all right. It looked like he may have twisted the ankle, but Tallison comes up with a nice pick and the good throw. And guess what? We go to 14 at the Dome in Toronto. Willie Blair. Jimmy Key went 6, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. Wills went 4, gave up a run on 2 hits. Blair came in the 11th. 1-2-3 11th, allowed a walk and a double and an intentional base on balls in the 12th, but got out of it, and then 1-2-3 in the 13th. Noakes 1 for 2, a single to right field. This one punched down the left field line. It'll reach the seats, out of play. Noakes came in the 9th inning and pinch hit for Guerin. Single to right, then line to 2nd in the 11th to end the inning, and it was an outstanding play by Liriano. Liriano has come up with a couple of outstanding plays defensively since coming into the game when Hernandez was tossed after arguing a foul ball with second base umpire Larry Barnett, and then Lee moved from 2nd to short. Up the middle, Manny Lee over. There's one away.
Now, I'm on my last column here, George.
Yeah, we're down. The score sheet is
down to. Did we call the game on account of tie and not enough paper after this, or what?
And we got some room on our sheets too, but those folks that have 10-inning score sheets have real trouble. That'll bring up Tallison, who came in after Hall pinch hit for Espinosa. Talley has played almost exclusively on the defensive side this year. He's hitting 174, has only 23 at bats in 27 games. To short. 2 away. While the Yankees have lived dangerously with the Blue Jays threatening in the 13th, the 11th, and the 9th, the Yankees, since The 8th inning, I've had only one rally, and that was in the 12th. Roberto Kelly, 3 for 5. Last time up he walked. He had 3 straight singles against Jimmy Key, all to left field in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th innings. Struck out and grounded to short against Wills, and then walked. And was thrown out trying to steal when either the Blue Jays guessed perfectly or picked a Yankee side. Right after he was thrown out, Sachs doubled. What was the longest you ever pitched in a game?
12 innings, I think.
Base hit center field, and Kelly should get another chance to see what he can do as Sachs peers at Buck Showalter now as he walks towards home plate.
I pitched 12 innings one night at Dodger Stadium, and left it was 1-1. Well, actually one of the best games I ever pitched. I struck out 16. I remember the game. I gave up a home run and a hanging curveball to Steve Garvey. Now this is 15 years ago. Talking about how some things, you know, you just never forget.
And that was a few years ago. Hey, you talk about striking out 16. How about like 20 years ago against the San Diego Padres? Kelly leads off first, and the man who's in the dugout for the Blue Jays tonight, Cito Gaston, was a member of that club. He struck out 19 that night. Had to get him once or twice.
Well, the odds are probably
he had a great year that year too.
Kind of tough to escape. He could hit. He had some monster home runs off me in San Diego.
Sachs 3 for 6. Kelly short lead, not going. Sachs again looks closely at Showalter. You got 3 choices: steal him, hit and run, or break out the prayers.
Or make the pitcher throw a strike.
Sachs can do that. He can wait.
Yep.
Kelly adds a foot to the lead, but not going again. There is a strike, and it's 1-1. 2 outs. We're in the top of the 14th. Noakes and Tollison both went out on ground balls to short. Kelly hit a solid single to center, and Sachs is facing Blair with a 1-1 count. This was the pitch he was thrown out on last time. Not going. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ahead in the count. Well, the Yankees put something on. Showalter has used every sign he's ever learned tonight.
It might be a little gunshot. After the pitch out last time when they got burned, Kelly got thrown out.
2-1, not going. Popped up to the right side. Olerud is there. We'll go to the bottom of the 14th. At Toronto, the Yankees 6, the Blue Jays 6, and Gruber. Felix tonight is 1 for 4. Last time up in the 11th inning, he laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt. And to give you an idea of how tired these athletes are in this very hot and humid Sky Dome tonight, I've never seen Steve Sachs do this ever. There's a delivery, ball 1. As Mattingly was throwing the ball around in infield, Sachs waved him off, said, don't even throw it. I've had enough. I don't need any more of these.
Well, he was disgusted because he popped the ball up, too. You can't play extra inning games where it just looks like everybody's so cotton-picking tired that nobody's ever going to score a run. I've played those games. You look at it and say, how in the world is this game ever going to end?
How about that one in Houston?
Oh, that was dreadful.
How many did you go that night?
I started a game down there, and I don't remember the year, but it was very early in my career. I went 10 innings at, I I started a game against the Astros and J.R. Richard. And I think I pitched 10 innings and gave up 2 or 3 hits, and J.R. Richard pitched 10 or 11 innings and gave up 2 or 3 hits. And the game went on and on and on and on. 24 innings, the thing went. 1-0 was the score. An unearned run, and the person that lost it for the New York Mets had pitched batting practice earlier that day before the game. Les Rohr, remember him?
Oh, sure.
Remember the name? Left-hander, a big left-hander, was a real high draft pick. He had thrown batting practice for the New York Mets prior to that game. And I think he pitched 5 innings or something.
Cadaret gets his second strikeout as Felix becomes the first victim of the 14th, and that'll bring up Liriano. Liriano is 0 for 2. He walked in the 8th, flied to left in the 9th, and then grounded to 3rd in the 11th. He entered the game after Fernandez was tossed. That seemed like ages ago. Fernandez back in the 5th inning with a runner on. Laced one down the third base line. It hit the line about 5 feet from the bag at third, and third base umpire Greg Koss called it a foul ball. And after the inning was over, after Fernandez lined to short into a double play, he had a few words with Koss and then with Barnett out at second base, and he was subsequently ejected. Cadaret ahead 1-2. Slice to the left side. Blowers has plenty of room here, and there are 2 down. You look at Greg Cadaret's numbers on the year. He's been in 19 games. He started 6, 1-4 with a 5.09 earned run average. He's allowed 61 hits in 53 innings coming in. 23 walks, 31 strikeouts, and up steps Gruber. He had a chance to break into the starting rotation, didn't take advantage of it, and wants that chance back again. Gruber tonight is 1 for 5. Last time up, he hit it hard to center field, but Kelly tracked it down. Had a sacrifice fly way back in the 3rd inning to plate the first Toronto run of the night.
Here's a young kid just coming into his prime, George. 27, 28 years old. Excuse me. Entering his 5th year in the big leagues. 290 last year. That's 73 RBIs, and now he's got 60. So he is really just about ready to bust open if he's going to be an outstanding player, and it looks like he's going to be.
2 balls, 1 strike. Cadaret still working from the stretch. 2-2. Another good pitch in on the hands. And you can credit one of the scouts for the Blue Jays with helping to turn Kelly Gruber around, Al Lamacchia. He went down a year and a half ago. Hit hard but foul. Kelly Gruber is a very deeply religious young man. He's an exceptional young man, and he's a football player, a baseball player, and as an amateur, and had great fire and desire. And Al Lamacchia went down and talked to him because some people in the organization had thought he had lost some of that fire, and he said to Kelly, look, you can believe in your faith, you can have a great belief and do everything you want, but when you cross those white lines, you still have to drive yourself, you still have to push yourself. This was in the offseason, and when Lamacchia made that visit to Texas, it made an impression on Kelly Gruber. In the last 2 years, certainly he has demonstrated that as a leader on this ball club and with the offensive stats. The 3-2 fouled off again.
Good piece of hitting there, just staying alive. 3-2, protecting the plate with anything close. And you can see not an offensive swing. Just fouling it off and giving himself another shot at it.
George Bell is on deck. Mattingly going to give it chase, and he's got it. Well, we'll turn another page and go to the 15th inning.
Past somebody's bedtime, George. I know that.
Well, Mom, if you're sitting home, you know where they are anyways.
Don Mattingly leads off the 15th inning for the Yanks. Hit hard to right field. Junior Felix on the warning track. And there's one out. Mattingly lines out to start off the 15th for the Yanks. And he is 1 for 6.
Gets right on this pitch on the inside part of the plate. Just does not have enough oomph to get it out, though.
The longest official game for the Toronto Blue Jays at home, 14 innings. And by my records, we have just entered the Toronto Blue Jays record book. They played the Texas Rangers 14 innings back on May 17th, 1988. They played longer game than this. They played 16 innings on the road against the Cleveland Indians. That 14-inning game took 5 hours and 20 minutes. The 16-inning game took 3 minutes longer. Balboni down on strikes, and there are 2 outs.
By the way, on the scoreboard tonight in the American League, Boston's keeping pressure on the Blue Jays. Boston beat Baltimore 4-3. Minnesota beat Kansas City 3-2. Gaetti hit his 9th home run. Maldonado hit his 3rd home run as Cleveland lost, though. Milwaukee beat the Indians 9-7. It was Texas 5, Seattle 2 behind Nolan Ryan. Griffey hit his 12th home run and a solo shot in the 4th inning. The late games, top of the 6th, Detroit nothing, California nothing. Du Bois against Finley. Chicago and Oakland now in the bottom of the 5th. The White Sox lead at 1-0. King and Sanderson. In the National League, Dodgers won again. They beat Cincinnati 7-6. O'Neill his 9th home run. Montreal beat Pittsburgh 4-3. The Mets beat Philadelphia 5-1 behind Viola. He's now 10-3.
Jesse Barfield to right field, a 2-out base hit. And for Barfield, his first hit of the evening. He was looking at an 0 for 7 night. Got a single to right, and he's 1 for 7.
San Diego and Atlanta were rained out. You know that Atlanta relieved Russ Nixon of his managerial duties, and general manager Bobby Cox took over. And San Francisco remains hot. They beat Houston 4-3.
Deion Sanders, the hitter, with 2 outs, and Barfield on first. Barfield not really a base running threat, 3 out of 5, but not known for stealing bases. When Barfield was with the Toronto Blue Jays, he stole 22 one year. A 2-hopper. Oh, he throws it away in right field. Barfield will go to 3rd, and Sanders will go to 2nd. Showalter holds Barfield up, and the Yankees get a break here. An error by Manny Lee at shortstop. A bad throw down at Nelson Liriano's feet. So with 2 outs, the Yankees get runners at 2nd and 3rd. And Mike Blowers to be the hitter. Jesse really had no chance to score.
You can blame Lee a little bit, but also you have to blame Liriano, who really committed himself as he came across the bag. Instead of waiting to see where the ball was going, He came across the bag, tried to make the stretch, and the ball was not thrown that wide of the bag. Could have been caught.
Late on the fastball, and it's strike one. Flowers 0 for 5. He was walked intentionally in the 6th inning.
He's hit a couple of balls hard tonight.
He hit .343 in the 9 games that he played down at Columbus when the Yanks sent him down to AAA. That's a base hit up the middle, and the Yankees will take the lead, and they'll take the lead by 2. Barfield scores, Sanders scores, and Mike Flowers. 2 out, RBI single up the middle.
And who started this night with an air
strike. And single on the first pitch that he saw. And since then has lined out to second base and grounded out to second base. The Yanks scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 8th. Steve Balboni with 2 home runs on the game. Gets him on the inside fastball. And Noakes is out on strikes. But not before the Yanks come up with 2 runs here in the top of the 15th. We go to the bottom of the 15th. It's the Yankees 8 and the Blue Jays 6.
7+ innings. Pitched well. Allowed a run while he was in there. Another one that he walked in the 7th scored. Robinson gave up 2 straight hits. Guterman came in, gave up a home run that scored both of Robinson's runners, and Guterman then pitched exceptionally well after that to go 5 innings, allowing only 4 hits. Cadaret came in, did the job, and now it's up to Righetti. And that guy looks like either. Hey. I wonder if they stopped the sale of beer back in the 7th inning, or they kept selling.
Hey, wait.
Nice. And Stump still says I've got a little more room for more chew.
Let's go. Stump doesn't care. He just wants 3 more outs. That's all he wants. So Dave Righetti on to pitch the bottom of the 15th here for the Yanks, and looking for save number 15. And he will face Bell, Olerud, and Borders for Toronto. Bell is 2 for 6. And would be 3 for 6 had he not been robbed of an extra base hit by Jesse Barfield in the 9th inning. Barfield made a beautiful play. Jump on it and ran it down. That's it hard to left field, and it's an 8-7 ball game. Dave Righetti. And now leads off the bottom of the 15th for Toronto. Boy, and a no-doubter. I mean, no-doubter. Still a run to work on, and a roller right to Sachs. And he doubled his first time to the plate, and since then has gone 0 for 5. Yanks and pitched 7+ innings. Couple of hops to Saxey, and there's 2 outs.
It is certainly, if they do hold on to win it. They just did not cave in. They kept coming back against a team that has been so immense offensively. You look at the heroes in this one. Kelly was 4 for 6 if the Yankees hold on. Balboni had 2 home runs. The biggest hit, though, came from Mike Blowers in the 15th. His single knocked in 2 to give the Yankees the 8-6 lead.
Espinosa short. Well, a lot of things you can cite, George. A couple home runs by Steve Balboni.
Runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Yep.
I mentioned it. It's going to be tough to come back and play in 12 hours, but even more tough if you were the loser of this one.
They are but a strike away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Hill. Sky to left field, deep, no. Sanders will have a play. Woo. You never know from this high. And at 12:31, you can turn your VCRs off. The Yankees win this one 8-7. Yankees 8 runs, 15 hits and an error. The Blue Jays 7 runs on 14 hits and 2 errors. The winner's going to be Greg Cadaret. And Dave Righetti, George, is going to pick up his 15th save of the year.
Go home and sleep fast, Tommy. You too, Scooter.
I'll see you in the morning.
That's it from the Sky Dome in Toronto. Our next Yankee telecast will be on Sunday, June the 24th at 1:30 p.m. when the Yankees meet the Toronto Blue Jays right here along the Yankee Baseball Network. Happy anniversary, Jimmy Hunter. And to the Scooter, too. For Tom Seaver and the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. Stump, 4 in a row. That's a Yankee high for 1990. For everybody back at WPIX and here at the Sky Dome, this is George Grand along with our executive producer, Marty Appel, saying good night and good morning.
We now join our program already in progress.